6 win. Play for makes breaks, one comes always score. If it hurts, game breaks, no get you, double it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. Ball, obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win in. Rest you again, we're here for the first play. Can everybody give that 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes,
all right.
To be the man, you gotta beat the man, and I'm saying, woo, right here.
Hey, it's us against the world, fellas. Yeah. It's us against the world, fellas. Don't nobody believe in us. Yeah. Don't nobody believe in us. We don't need nobody to believe in us. I don't believe in you. I believe in you. I know you a dog. I know you a dog. I know we some dogs, man. Hey, all this preparation we put in, all this they talk about, hey, it's time to go release pain, man. It's time to go put in real. Let's go. Tennessee on 2, 1, 2, Tennessee. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready. Ball, Tennessee, ready.
But you know what? Let's talk a little Vols. That is not me trying to take any shine away from the phenomenal channel Talking Vols, and my guy Boogie Bentley runs. So shout out to them. But let's talk a little Vols here.
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. He's Coach Shay. Coach, I did confirm today, in fact, that Foul Ming is not dead. I guess that's good news. Foul Ming is alive. He did speak to me. He said he maybe felt like he wished he was dead over the weekend. But Foul's on the Ming. We're up. Foul's on the Ming. Foul is on the mend.
The Ming.
Here once again. I feel like we were just here. We kind of laughed about it. Feels like we were just streaming, but here we are again. We're going to talk about it. We're going to get into it. We're going to break down how we're feeling on this Sunday evening.
I feel like a winner again, which is always good, right? It's always good to get a W off. Got off the phone with the son and told him how much I hate him and how much I didn't like him since he was going to the Oklahoma game, the night game, and I was not. But yeah, we kicked around the can a little bit. We talked a little ball. Another fan disappointed in Boo though, man. Talking to a kid that played defense and had a D coordinator in his ear all day long, and he brought up something that made me think. You know, sometimes when you play football your whole life, sometimes around your sophomore and junior year, it's like you want to take a year off and just take a breath because it never stops between spring ball, winter ball, summer ball, and you need a breath. And sometimes kids will take a year off at some point and comeback focus. It almost seems like Boo Carter's like that. Like he's a burnt out football player who is just ready to move on to another part of his life. And once again, I think that's really disappointing to hear that it feels like that. So we'll see where it goes with him. But yeah, feel good overall. Feel excited. 2-point spread, Boogie. Is everyone else seeing that? I saw a 2-point line. I don't know if that's jumped around since I saw.
I thought I saw 3.5. What did I see? I have it here somewhere. Since you put me on the spot, 3.5 is what I saw at FanDuel.
Okay. Yeah. So,
what are you telling me, that I was right, Coach? Are you saying that I was right when I said that we're favored in every game?
Yeah. I was telling you you're right this time.
I'm waiting on the people that said I was crazy to come back and tell me that, oh, you were right, Boogie. Guess who else is
well, the Vols are going to lose every game after Alabama, Boogie. They're going to lose to New Mexico. They're awful.
I'm glad you said that. Let's just call it a night. Hey, you know who else is getting points this weekend, Coach? Vanderbilt.
Ooh.
Texas favored by 2.5 in that game. If you ask most people around these parts, if you ask most people that hang out around the Talkin VAWLS network, the VolQuest message board, Vol Twitter, who would you think? I would say most of them would probably say that Vanderbilt's favored in that game, but they're not. It's Texas that's favored in that game.
Yeah, interesting. Is it at Texas? Forgive me, I haven't looked at the full jaunt yet.
I bet it's at Texas. I bet it's a pick'em, and Texas is getting
the
Texas
points for
that.
Felt like a little bit different team at home,
at
but
Texas.
Yeah, so I could see that happening. You know, they got a really stingy defense. I think Vanderbilt's shown that they can struggle on offense against a little stingier of defenses. Not that that gives us a whole lot of hope right now, but it has shown that definitely. And I got to be honest with you, Boogie. I went into full analyst breakdown of Tennessee's defensive performance, and I just realized I don't know what the heck I'm going to do with all these diagrams and plays and systems that I wrote. Do I fax them to Tim Banks? I don't know. I don't know what I do. I mean, I know the man probably knows way more about football than me, but I just had so many things that I wanted to like interject and talk about from so many points of view. Like, I mean, my notes include everything. They include Meg, Mod, Mabel, Box, Poach, Push, Clamp, Clone, Cloud, all the different isms that you go through as a defense coordinator were things I wanted to discuss, and things where I felt like we were losing leverage on and getting out schemed with. So yeah, upon rewatch, there were really ugly things with the defense, and there were some positives too, right? I don't want to be all negative. Like I said last night, there were some dang near positives there, and it's just, once again, feast or famine. There is no middle ground with this dang defense, and it's maddening, absolutely maddening.
What I want you to do is take all those notes and email them to timbanks1218 at hotmail.com.
Okay. He'll be like,
get right
loser.
He'll be right on top of
yeah.
it.
Okay.
Tim
Yeah. He'll be like,
1218.
let me read this. This is genius, is what
I was stunned on Instagram promoting the stream for tonight, promoting the day after video earlier this morning. Tim Banks always shares a picture of the locker room after a win. I just knew his comments were going to be flooded with nonsense. I'm proud of you guys. I'm proud of you guys. No nonsense there. Let me catch up with you guys. We got 150 people watching live. We appreciate you tuning into the Talkin VAWLS Network on this Sunday. Now, we know there's other stuff going on tonight, but guess what? We're talking Tennessee football every single day right here on the Talkin VAWLS Network. Help us out. Hit the thumbs up. Share it out. Let somebody know we are live. If you feel so obliged, we appreciate a good old-fashioned door fee, and that's what Todd Landers did. He dropped a $2 super chat and says, door fee, how we doing, Vol fam? Todd, let me tell you something. We're doing good because we're on here after a win, and it's always way easier after a win. Big Orange Daddy becomes a member of the channel. Shout out Big Orange Daddy. We appreciate that. Jackie Pickle upgraded his membership. We'll count that. We're on the membership drive around here. We need 35 memberships during a stream, and we'll give away some free Talkin VAWLS merchandise. So we're going to count Jackie Pickle upgrading. We need 33 of them. If you don't have a power T beside your name, you can fix it. Hit the join button. It's $1. You got $1? We need $1. Hit the join button. We'll take that $1. And you'll help keep the lights on around here. For the fans, by the fans, also fan funded. Shout out, Jackie. We appreciate you. Peyton Bowles for $5. Basketball game plus Talkin VAWLS family on a rainy Sunday night. Let's go. That's how you do it. That's how you do it, Peyton. You watch the basketball game on the TV. You watch Talkin VAWLS live on the cell phone. So we appreciate you hanging out with us. LeBron and James for 2. Why are we not getting a good pass rush scheme? I don't know that I can say scheme, coach. And you if you want to sit on this for later or give a quick answer now, it didn't matter if Tennessee brought pressure or if Tennessee brought 4. They didn't get pressure against Kentucky. Some of that, I think, game plan on Kentucky's side of it, trying to get the ball out quick, trying to eliminate that pass rush. And you see that, right? You see that when you got a team that gets to the quarterback. We saw Arkansas do it. Of course, they got a mobile quarterback. I don't know that Alabama necessarily did it as much as they just whipped Tennessee up front. But then Kentucky just trying to get the football out quick. That's what I saw.
I agree with that statement. Kentucky definitely trying to get the ball out quick. I mean, even if you think about Utley's beautiful breakup of that screen pass, or a quick double move and a lob up that Boo Carter got beat up. Even on the deep pass, the ball got out early. There was one play really late in the game where, I mean, I think it was like the touchdown Kentucky had to give them 27, where the quarterback sent like he could have just wrote a dang book back there. This is the drive where they went for the 2-point conversion on that touchdown. They had all day to throw. We just sat back and watched. But yeah, in general, quick bubble, quick go routes, a lot of underneath stuff, some drag routes, mesh concepts from Kentucky as well. Kept the ball coming out quickly. And by the way, when you lead the country in sacks, teams are going to scheme you that way, right? They're going to want to get that ball out quick. Which is why what we've been calling for, that aggression, can seem hard to call as a defense coordinator, because people want to do that to you. So you're naturally wanting to bait them into those and dropping back. It's just kind of working against ourselves.
But that's why Tim Banks gets paid what he gets paid, right? So if
Sure.
you're getting to the quarterback and they adapt, they change, they create a scheme to combat that, now it's up to you to create a scheme to counter that. Like, it's chess. That's what football is. That's what X's and O's is. R. James Michael drops a $10 super chat. Well, we appreciate that, James. Nothing to say, just a tip in the tip jar. We are grateful for that support, so we thank you, James. Timothy McGee coming in hot tonight, dropping a 50 spot. We will play the clip for Timothy.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Shout out Timothy McGee, man. $50 is not cheap. He says, Boogie. See, I feel like Timothy's always lecturing me, whether he drops 2 or 50. I feel like he's preaching to me. He says, Boogie. What I was trying to say last night is it would be an SEC defensive scheme, and marry it with this offensive scheme, we would be unstoppable. But when I watch Big 12 defense in the day, the defensive side would allow more touchdowns. Coach, do you have thoughts on that? Is there a difference between SEC defense and Big 12 defense, or do you think it's Jimmy's and Joe's in the SEC versus the Big 12?
A bit of it's Jimmy and Joe's, a little bit of it's scheme. The Big 12 plays a little more of those wide open schemes, and you see some out of Tennessee, right? Like what you see primarily out of Banks. You see 4-2-5 nickel concepts. You see some dime concepts, 4-3 and 3-3-5, right? So when you see some of those more wide open concepts from a defense, it can certainly remind you more of Big 12 defenses that are more centered around just guarding against throwing the ball, which we're kind of leaning into because we're struggling against defending the pass. So, but a lot of it Jimmy's and Joe's, but some shades of Big 12 defense, Tim.
One of the things that I did today, because I'm a miserable human being, as I was sitting here rewatching the game, I would pause it every few series and I would go to VolQuest and refresh, see if there were any new threads, any talking points, just see what the vibe was over there on the general's quarters. And one of the things I saw was people trying to defend this Tim Banks defense by saying, hey, man, it's college football in 2025. This ain't granddaddy's football. Offenses score a lot of points. That's a fair statement. You go look at the SEC scores from this week. Texas A&M and LSU, 49-25. That's a lot of points. Alabama, 29. South Carolina, 22. A lot of points. Ole Miss, 44-26 over Oklahoma. A lot of points. Tennessee scored 56. Texas scored 45. That's a lot of points. But guess what? I don't care how many points everybody's scoring. Tennessee is still at the bottom of the SEC. So whether everybody's scoring 50 or everybody's scoring 12, Tennessee is still at the bottom of the conference. So it doesn't matter. You can't spin that and make that narrative a positive. Tennessee has to be better defensively. But Timothy, we appreciate you. SP Weasel drops a 20 spot. We'll play the clip.
Rocky Top, you'll always be.
SP Weasel says, love this show. GBO, we love you, SP Weasel, and we appreciate that. If you like what we do, that type of support is how we keep the lights on around here. So we're grateful for those super chats. We're grateful for the memberships. We're grateful if you're just here hanging out with us on a Sunday night and you just hit the thumbs up. We're going to open this thing up to a fan call-in show here in just a little bit. But a couple of things I want to talk about with Coach, and then talk a little bit about our rewatch, and then kind of move in and let you guys jump on here. I don't know if you saw this. Coach just came out a couple of hours ago, 5:21, Pete Nakos puts out this tweet. Sources have told On3 that LSU position coaches have been sent home from the facility with Brian Kelly's future with the Tigers unknown. Now, they put out an update at 5 p.m. Central Time that says entering the day, the expectation was that LSU head coach Brian Kelly was going to make significant staff changes on the offensive side of the ball after Saturday night's embarrassing loss to Texas A&M. But by noon, it appeared those plans were no longer on track, with Kelly leaving the facility shortly after. It says conversations with administrators, Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry and Kelly's camp are ongoing as of Sunday night. Players are off Sunday and Monday due to the bye week. No players meeting has been added to the schedule. Sources told On3 position coaches who chose to go into the facility today were sent home. As one source described it, the facility is a ghost town. Kelly's status has been described as in limbo or in flux. At this point, it is unclear if Kelly is willing to negotiate a buyout. He's currently set to be paid north of $53 million with 6 years remaining on his contract. We're talking about Brian Kelly, a guy that went 10-4, 10-3, 9-4, started off this season 5-1. They've lost 3 out of their last 4. But Coach, when you talk about these losses, number 3, Texas A&M. Number 9, Vanderbilt. I get it. It's Vanderbilt, not your granddaddy's Vanderbilt. Number 9, Vanderbilt. Number 7, Ole Miss. 3 losses to 3 top 10 teams. And that's where I'm kind of at with Tennessee. You look at the 2 losses, it's the 2 teams ranked, I think, inside the top 4 now. I think Alabama and Georgia both in the top 4, definitely top 5. Any thoughts on the Brian Kelly news? College football is insane right now with these coach firings.
Look, at every level of football, there is an incredible amount of pressure to win and win now, right? No one's in it for participation trophies. We all want to win really, really badly. I would be really, really careful. And I know LSU's, is it safe to say they're a top 3 job in the country?
One of.
Right?
Top 5, definitely top 5.
Top 5 as far as resources, recruiting base, big time program, big time home field advantage for them, and they're not going to accept losing, right? They're just not. Now it'd be a little nerve-wracking for me to be in a coaching search this year with Penn State out there, with Florida out there.
This has to make Florida fans nervous, because I think he's a better job than Florida.
I don't
know. Get paid by somebody, even if it's just Ole Miss.
Even if it's just Ole Miss. I don't know if everyone saw the video where he yell, "I'm effing staying," and points at the ground. So
until he's not, he's staying
until he's Lane Kiffin and he does whatever the heck he wants, right? So we'll see about that. But he's about to get paid. Yes, certainly. And all I'm saying, Boogie, is I'll give him a discount. I'll give someone a discount. You know, you won't have to pay me 53 million. Let's just call it 6 million, and I'm in. You got Coach Jay for far below sticker price. But
all I'm asking, I told you, I just want that
it
one
just-
year with a fat buyout. That's all I
there
need.
you go.
That's it.
There you go. Yeah, Miss J was asking me last night, how do I be the water girl? Like, how do I be one of these girls in the polos and pants that run out and give someone water and have the awesome seats?
You got a problem. You're going to get a job and you're going to be like, well, I need a water girl. I need a dude that will coach any position you want. And then Foul Means going to come call and he's going to be like, plug me in somewhere, coach. Plug me in somewhere.
Well, I looked at Miss J and I was like, Miss J, you're not bringing GMAC water, all right? Quit being creepy, all right? Quit being creepy. And yeah, so look, they're going to demand wins in LSU, and I'll tell you what, I'd feel not good if I was sent home, right? And I'm on that staff. How would you feel, right? Like you'd feel like you're toast no matter what. If it's not happening during the bye week, it's happening soon, and you'd feel like you're toast for, like you said, losing against good teams. But I never thought Kelly was a good fit. Just overall, like the way he is, he doesn't feel like LSU to me. And I think fit's extremely important. And it goes a real long way in football. And it's just never felt right. He's always struggled out of the gate, barring this year. And then he's tripped up. So it's just a tough position. But I feel like he's on his way out.
Yeah, his opening press conference was embarrassing, man. Like coming in there trying to put on a Southern accent. It's just crazy to me, man, when you look around the country. I mean, you know how I feel about James Franklin being fired. I think that's just a joke. A guy that's so close to making the college football national championship. I mean, one play, a field goal. You're a field goal away from coaching for a national championship, and you've been there for 12 seasons. And they're like, nope, too bad. We're moving on. Billy Napier gets fired. I think that's just. Mike Gundy after 21 seasons. Sam Pittman, Brent Pry at Virginia Tech, Deshaun Foster. I mean, the list goes on and on. And I think it's all about just what have you done for me lately? And it makes it hard to preach patience at Tennessee, but that's something I'm going to continue to do, especially when it comes to Josh Heupel. Now, would I freak out if they fired Tim Banks at the end of the season? No. I would want to see who they hire. I would want to see who the replacement is. I would want to do my homework. You could possibly upgrade that position. Do I think they should fire Tim Banks midseason with the college football playoff on the line? Absolutely not. Carl, the accountable accountant, tagged me in this on Twitter today. I don't see him in the chat. Hopefully he is catching the rewatch. I thought this was some interesting perspective. This dude was just tweeting out Josh Heupel positivity all day long today. I should probably go follow this guy. I like the mindset. But he says, Vol football coaches with 5 seasons from General Neyland until now. Philip Fulmer, 49 wins. Bill Battle, 46. General Neyland, 43. Josh Heupel's at 43, and he's still got the rest of this season to play out. Doug Dickey, 37. Butch, 34. Bowden Wyatt, 33. Johnny Majors, 29. MB Banks, 27. I think that brings you some perspective. Now, something I get yelled at when I talk about Josh Heupel and 10-win seasons is that, well, Bill Battle didn't play as many games as Josh Heupel, and that's true. That's accurate. Not to the drastic extent of General Neyland. General Neyland's the one that I would doesn't make sense on this list, because in his first 5 seasons, he wins 43 games. Coach, you know how many games do you think? You probably have no idea, because I had to look it up because I would have no idea. So General Neyland, 5 seasons. How many games do you think he coached in those 5 seasons? First 5 seasons at Tennessee?
45?
48.
Okay.
That's pretty good guess. That's pretty good guess. Yeah, that's pretty good guess. So he coached 48 games, 43 wins. So his record was 43 wins, 2 losses, and 3 ties. That's pretty special to kind of lump him in there and say that Josh Heupel is about to pass the General. In no way, shape, or form am I comparing Josh Heupel to the general. But the rest of this list kind of makes sense. Josh Heupel, 43 wins in 40 games. Philip Fulmer, 49 wins in 61 games. So Josh Heupel goes and takes care of the Sooners. He's 5 wins behind Philip Fulmer there. And Philip Fulmer obviously took over a way better football team than Josh Heupel did. Bill Battle, 46 wins in 60 games. So the exact number of games as Josh Heupel. He's 3 wins behind Bill Battle. That's pretty dang good company. Doug Dickey, 37 wins in 54 games. So I think that's a pretty good list. I think Josh Heupel is in pretty good company. Another tweet that Carl tagged me in was Josh Heupel now bowl eligible in all 5 years of his tenure on Rocky Top. First head coach to do that since Phil Fulmer in 1993. Also the first time going bowling 5 straight years since 2000 to 2004. And I get it. If you're in the chat right now and you're going, Boogie, you freaking clown. We're not here to go bowling. We're here to win championships and national championships. And I agree. We're here to win the SEC. We're here to win national championships. But let me say that time frame again. We're going bowling 5 times in a row for the first time since 2000 to 2004. The first time in over 20 years that a coach has come in here and gone bowling 5 straight seasons. Coach, that is just perspective. All of that is just perspective.
And it's important perspective to have. I mentioned it. You want to win enough games to give you a chance to make the playoff right now, right? And then you need to come together at the right time and catch lightning in a bottle, right? And have the talent to do so. So, made it to the playoffs once. Would we have made it to the playoffs in 22 if it was a 12-team playoff? Maybe. I think we would have made it that year. So I don't know that we would have gone very far or not with Hendo hurt, but who knows, right? Who knows? But your objective is to get into the playoffs and get the job done. And to do that, you got to stack wins. And Heupel is doing that. So let's stay behind them. Doesn't mean you can't make adjustments. Doesn't mean you can't add to your team. Like I said, I don't know if I'd move on from Banks or not. I certainly would hire a really, really good defensive mind and add them to the staff. You brought up Brent Pry a second ago. Oh, man, I'd be on the phone. That man can coach the bejesus out of defense, and I think he'd be beautiful to put his and Tim Banks's mind together and let them go to work and try to make the right adjustments to get this thing humming.
I wouldn't be against Josh Heupel bringing in a co-defensive coordinator and tell Tim Banks, hey, you need somebody here in your ear. You need somebody that is your equal. You need somebody that has just as much control and power as you do. I'm open to anything. Something else worth mentioning, though, again, all the coaches that have been fired, let me rattle off the team names. Florida, Penn State, Oklahoma State, Arkansas, Virginia Tech, UCLA, UAB, Oregon State, Colorado State, Stanford, Kent State. When you start talking about that many head coaching jobs becoming open, guess what that also means? Defensive coordinators looking for jobs, offensive coordinators looking for jobs, position coaches looking for jobs. We are about to see the most insane coaching carousel that we have seen in a long time.
I've got one for you. For everyone who want to fire Halsey, I'll tell you what. If I'm at a smaller school or a mid-sized school, and I'm looking at what Alex Golish has been doing at South Florida, and I'm looking up and the number 1 offense in the country is Tennessee, I might take a flyer on Joey Halsey. I might. Why not? Especially if you're a team that's been struggling with offense. Why not? Why not take a flyer on him, right? I would. I'd highly consider it.
And again, it's the hard thing about it is, and you would obviously much rather have it this way. You would much rather lose coaches because they're good than have to fire coaches because they suck, right? How many years did we see that it's like, oh, we got to fire this coach, that coach? I don't want to talk about Sal Sunseri because that's another freaking General's Quarters post that I went down today, them comparing Tim Banks' defense to Sal Sunseri's defense. Sunseri was awful when he was the defensive coordinator at Tennessee. But yeah, why not? You want to see the coaching tree grow, Josh Heupel's coaching tree grow. It shows that he's had success being successful. LeBronson James for 5 says, I think if J-Mod and Ricky were playing and healthy, we wouldn't have seen Boo on the field this year. I don't know, because Boo plays that star position. So I don't know. I don't know that there's anything Boo can do to end up on the bench. If he is still playing the same number of snaps next week, there is nothing more that Boo Carter can do to get benched outside of the 2 deep.
It makes you wonder if you could have popped Colton Hood into the star, though, if you had Jermon McCoy and Ricky Gibson.
Why could you not?
Colton's got that dog in him.
Yes, yes.
Like, I loved the play. Let me say this with a grain of salt here. Let's hear what I'm saying, everybody. I love the play where Kentucky scored the touchdown on the quick little bubble out, because Colton Hood was like, I'm just going to throw the person in front of me. Like, if someone's in my way, I'm going to launch them at the ball carrier. At least he was giving 2,000% effort and not just going, oh, well, that guy's running in front of me. He's going to score. Okay, cool. Great. Like, I want someone who fights for it, and Colton Hood fights for it every play.
Something worth noting is Colton Hood is banged up. He only played 10 snaps in the second half. And they are keeping up with him to see what's going on here. We need him healthy. I thought Colton Hood, when we watched what he did at Colorado, I thought he was tailor-made for the star position here. I think we even asked him when he was on with us if there was any chance, and it sounded like it was just straight corner. Jason Gars for 5 says, who has a better chance at winning a natty first, Heupel or Barnes? Well, I mean, Barnes could win a natty this year. Man, basketball is crazy. Basketball and baseball both. And football's getting there, man. The more you expand this college football playoff, the more you're going to have to get hot at the right time. But basketball, man, you get hot in March, you can do anything, right? You can beat anybody. You get on that run in March. So I would say Barnes right now. Agree or disagree, Coach?
I would say Barnes right now, but don't sleep on hype, especially if he hits one early with the quarterback. After Joey, let's say Faison is just a stud out the gate, you know, he'd probably have 2 or 3 really good shots at it. So we'll see. But right now, I'd say Barnes by a nose.
Timothy McGee for 10. You know, Heupel will hire in-house because the DC would tell him to slow the game down so you're not hanging the defense out to dry. That's how we got Banks. I mean, you bring up a good point there, Timothy. I think you're going to have a conversation. Like, that's part of a defensive coordinator coming here, is knowing you're going to spend more time on the field. And that's why when you look at yards per game, passing yards per game, rushing yards per game, points per game, all of that is skewed. But the eye test also tells me that this defense is struggling right now. I don't need to just look at stats and numbers to know this defense is struggling.
Yeah, I agree with that. And they're spending a lot of minutes on the field, right? But my issue is that it's not all it like yesterday, the second quarter was awful, right? They shouldn't be that tired in the second quarter regardless.
See, that's what I was thinking yesterday.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
because Ron the Don brought up a good point about tackling and being tired. And I can validate that at the end of the Alabama game. I can validate that at the end of this game. Not in the second quarter, Coach. That doesn't make sense in the second quarter.
In the second quarter alone, we had 5 missed tackles.
11 on the day, I think, total. 11.
Yeah, and 5 in the second quarter. So that tells you what kind of second quarter that was. Now, I did think there was one thing we did a little better. I thought we rallied to the ball a little bit better this week than last week. So that was kind of nice to see. A good the play where they had like 47 fumbles on it. We did a really, really good job of rallying to that football and not giving up on that play. So kudos to them on that.
On my rewatch, and we'll hit this real quick, then we'll open it up to everybody. I just don't really have anything to add. Like, the defense is just maddening. It is what it is. It's like we said at the top of the show, you're not getting pressure with 4. You're not getting pressure when you bring blitzes. I counted 11 missed tackles, the chunk plays, 4 passing plays over 20 yards. And those are backbreakers, man. But who knows what happens? Maybe those are long extended drives there too if they don't make a big play. I don't know. But, man, on the season, 32 pass plays of 20 yards or more. I don't know where that ranks nationally. It has to be really, really bad. But then also, like, I don't want to just be doom and gloom. We need to praise this offense, man. We need to praise what they are doing under Joey Halsley. First in the SEC in points per game. First in the SEC in total offense. First in the SEC in passing offense. Joey Aguilar leading the conference in passing yards. Tied for second in the SEC in passing touchdowns. You know what his QBR is, Coach? 75 98.5. That's
You
22nd
know how
in the
much I care
country.
about it.
His QBR last night, I gotta find it. I swear it was like 95.
Look for it. But why you think that? I almost opened my mouth too, because usually after, at least at App State, you know how we'd like see those QBRs where it was like 10 and then the next one was 95. It always seemed like the one after a bad one would be insanely high. So I was curious if that was going to happen.
Yeah, and Alabama was his lowest of the
Certainly,
year.
there
And
you
now
go.
95.3 last night.
Yeah,
95.3.
so really resilient and great to see on that. Pretty much perfect game almost out of Joey. I mean, he had one or two that sailed. There was one or two where I'd like to see the check down, but that's just Joey being Joey, right? And being a gunslinger and not wanting to hit that check down. And I guess we'll give him a break on his slide, right? Because he probably got a bruised up rib. We'll be nice to old Joey and give him a break on his dive into the, I won't say slide, his dive into the end
I don't even
zone
know
that
if it
could
was a
use
dive.
little
It was
work.
looked like a collapse.
It
It looks like a
just-
collapse. I love Joey though too. I don't know if you saw the post game with him. I mean, he 20 of 26 for almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. And he's like, I got to be better. He's like, we had to punt some of those series because I didn't take the easy throws and I tried to push the football down the field. It's like, dude, come on. You were 20 of 26, 400 yards and 3 touchdowns. I'm celebrating. I'm putting my crown on, telling everybody to call me King Joey. No, not that guy. We talk about striving for perfection, even though you're never going to reach it. That's Joey Aguilar in a nutshell. The link is out for Talkin VAWLS Elite. Do me a favor. If you come on, have a talking point, have something you want to get into, and we'll get into it. Coach, any other, what are your final thoughts on your rewatch?
I mean, I felt really similar like you did. I thought it was really important to get out to a quick start and let the offense sail yesterday. They did that. The defense, of course, supported them with 2 turnovers, leading to 14 points. I thought the halftime transition, right, that final drive before the half, Ethan Davis touchdown, the defense coming out, getting 2 stops in a row and allowing the offense to step on the throat was the quote unquote knockout blow of that fight. Yeah, so that was my overarching feeling last night. And I mean, I guess we'll get into the nitty gritty with the fans and see how they feel in a minute, but not too much at all changed on my rewatch. Just like I said, kind of the same, maddening from the defense at times and brilliance from the offense for most of the game.
All right, we're going to get into it. We're going to bring you guys on one at a time, nice and clean. Bring a topic. We'll talk about it. We got Jenny in the back room. We'll bring her on. Put 5 minutes on the clock. I feel like it's a game show. What do you got, Jenny? What's going on tonight?
Just to iterate with the defense, it's because I was about to jump on that fire Tim Banks train, but I think I'm gonna push back. I'm gonna hesitate on that a bit. I was rewatching part of it, and we're like ranked second in turnovers or something like that. Like we're really high in that, and then we're high in tackles for loss, and we're also high in sacks. So it's just weird. It's like a weird, like, I don't know. So I'm kind of gonna back off of that for a minute. For all the negative Vols, there were some people who didn't think that we would win 5 games, much less 6. So no, we're not going 5 and 7, obviously. So
What I love too is like anybody that's mad. Did you have Tennessee beating Georgia? Did you have Tennessee beating Alabama? I think some of the anger, some of it's just people are always mad no matter what. I think some of it comes because you were so close to beating Georgia. Like you make that field goal, you beat Georgia, and knowing that almost shifted the expectations, Jenny. It's almost like, well, because we should have now instead of, well, we just lost to Georgia, it's we should have beat Georgia. So nothing else is acceptable.
I firmly believe that we should be 7-1. because Alabama did they did beat us legitimately. But I feel like in my heart we should be 7-1 because we should beat Georgia.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda. How do you feel about the rest of the schedule? How do you feel about Oklahoma coming up on Saturday?
You know what? I feel good about Oklahoma even with Mateer. I don't think he is healthy. I don't think he is 100%. And I think part of that is because they had him play right after he had surgery because they wanted him to play against Texas, which obviously did not help them in any way, shape, or form. And Texas is not even that good. So they haven't played that well the last couple of weeks against Kentucky and against Mississippi State. So and then they go and they beat the mess out of Oklahoma, and I think a lot of that had to do with Oklahoma beating Mateer being not healthy, and I still don't think he's healthy, but we'll see. Coming into Neyland is hard. It's a night game, which I'm excited about because I think the fans get more up for night games.
It's called drunk, Jenny. It's called drunk.
So is it like it's going to be a dark mode game, right?
Hopefully,
Has to be.
It has to be, and then the
it's
checkerboard game is going to be right, and then and the checkerboard game would be like what, Vandy, right? If they're going to checkerboard
Vandy, and then Smoky Gray, New Mexico State, or flip it. It'll be one or the other.
Okay.
Why would we checkerboard New Mexico State?
Because you got to do it sometime. And those are the only 2 games left, so I don't know if they're wearing. I would almost say Smoky Gray. Yeah.
Didn't we checkerboard Georgia though?
Did we?
Did we?
I'm pretty sure we did.
Vols, checker.
Oh, we did checker Yuga. We did checker
really?
Yuga. Yeah, according to that's right. Go Vols. I'm taking your word for it. That's right. Go Vols.
Vols.
Take your word, good sir.
I mean, we could do it again. It's not like
I mean,
I've seen us do it twice in 1 year before. So
yeah.
They're doing the salute to service against New Mexico State, and that'll be the Smoky Gray. So I don't guess we'll do anything. We'll just beat up Vanderbilt because they're our little brother, and that's what we do.
Oh, speaking of which, I saw a little brother sign with the Power T under it on College Game Day. And I posted, I was like, let's not go crazy. I'm rooting for Vandy because I was rooting for them yesterday, but let's not go crazy. And I posted where we're like 79 to like 30 something. And they've only beaten us 13 times since 1927. Because most of their wins against us came prior to 1927. It was like 19-2 or something. And then we just dominated the series after that.
Yeah.
So I was like, let's not go crazy, Vandy. And I posted right beside it the record.
That's definitely going to be their quote unquote Super Bowl, right? Like this year at the end of the year, it should be an interesting and a fun game when it comes around. We'll see what kind of position we're in, and we'll see if it's a playoff berth opportunity game.
Yeah.
All right, Jenny, we got to get you out the door. Appreciate you jumping on as always. All right.
Thank
you. Good night.
Go Vols.
All right, I'm gonna go ahead and put the link out real quick. Join the show to Talkin VAWLS Gold and higher. If you've never been on the show before, we got checkerboard overalls in the back. We're gonna get him on here in just a second. If you've never been on the show before and you're going, what is Boogie talking about? The link is out. The link is out. The link is out. You got to go to our YouTube homepage. And when you go there, you can go to posts. And if you're a member at that tier, you will see the link there. You can click it, boom, jump on, hang out with us, bring a topic. You're getting 5 minutes. Christopher Welch for 10. I hate to ask because I like the man, but does Tim Banks already have a head coach job offer? We know Boo does, and they almost seem to be doing the same thing once certain things happen on the field. No, I would disagree with that. I think Tim Banks is 100% bought into this football team, 100% bought into coaching. I don't think he already has a head coaching job. Look, I don't know. Tim Banks has to be better. I think there are so many circumstances that nobody wants to hear about because then it becomes that I'm making excuses and I'm carrying water for Tim Banks and all that type of nonsense. But you don't have your 2 starting corners. You don't have your starting linebacker in Arian Carter. You're playing true freshman at linebacker. You're playing a true freshman at corner. Vu Carter ain't bought in, so you're playing Jalen McMurray. And somebody got pissed at me in the postgame show for saying this, but Jalen McMurray is our second string corner. That's what he is. Vu Carter's the starting star, and Vu Carter's not playing like he's the starting star. So we are sliding Jalen McMurray in there. When Vu Carter was bought in, look what Vu Carter did as a true freshman, man. Like people that are going, oh, Vu Carter's a bust. Vu Carter sucks. No, Vu Carter's just not bought in. There's a difference. Vu Carter's not a bust. Vu Carter could have been one of the best defensive players we've ever had at the University of Tennessee, but he chose not to be. He didn't buy in. And I think that's impacting this entire football team because now you're without 3 of your 5 starting defensive backs. And then if you go back to the safety position, we got a sophomore in Idris Farouk, and then we got Andre Turrentine, who continues to struggle week in and week out. Any thoughts on that with Tim Banks and a head coaching job?
I mean, I think it's going to be a tougher year for him to leave to take said head coaching job. It's always, what have you done for me lately, right? And as mentioned, 20 minutes ago, it's what have you done for me lately? It's I want to win now. So it's going to be a little bit harder for him to find that head coaching job in a bigger market, I would say. Yeah. So I don't think so.
All right, let's get Checkerboard Overalls on here. I think he was the one. Checkerboard Overalls, weren't you the one last night you said, Boogie, I'm coming on. I got something. I got to get off my chest. I think that was you, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. It was. Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah, you sound good.
Awesome,
Yes,
man. How are y'all?
Fantastic. How
Very good. Thank you.
Cool, man. I'm doing good. Thanks. I had a lot more notes than usual today. I guess after watching the game last night and rewatching it today. And so I was hoping these 5 minutes, I want to run through my notes and hopefully kind of closer to the end of that, whatever sticks out. I'd love to hear y'all's ad libs and comments, but I'll get it going if that's good.
Coach has his pen ready. Let's go,
man. Yeah. Hey,
let's do
Coach, write down. I would love to hear some things on this stuff, but all right, I'm gonna ramble for about 4.5 minutes because I got all these notes. So
you got
the floor is yours.
Cool. Well, I appreciate y'all. So points off turnovers. We did a great job this game. I think we had 7 points off of that fumble. We had a short field, and that was awesome. We also had the pick 6. I think when you take into consideration this defense, you can't have your cake and eat it too as Vol fans. I think this defense is very similar to the Heupel defense we saw, or the Tim Banks defense we saw the first 2 years out of this coaching staff, right? Very opportunistic. Coach Jay, I had the same exact feast or famine written down last night that, we may be close to dead last in scoring defense, close to dead last in yards allowed, but on the opposite end of that, we're top 10 in sacks, we're top 10 in takeovers, we're top 10 in points the defense scores. So, I mean, at this point, if your offense is clicking and your defense is good for a takeaway or 2 a game and a score every now and then, I mean, that's a good recipe to win. I have here that, the 2 teams comparably both statistically on ESPN had 1 sack each. But again, you got to take into consideration the tackles for loss. Our team had 8 tackles for loss to Kentucky's 3. I don't know how Jalen Prelati's sack on that 2-point conversion wasn't listed as a sack on ESPN. Maybe it's because it was for a 2-point conversion, but Prelati had himself a TFL. And then, Redmond should have had a second pick. I mean, it hit him right in the hands. He only had 1 hand up, but we very well could have had 3 turnovers that game and prevented them from getting in the end zone. So that, and then just another woe that we have to correct. It's going to be hard to do that this late in the season, but I hate getting into those 3rd and long situations, the 3rd and 8s, the 3rd and 10s, the 3rd and 12s. And Coach Banks, man, he goes into that cover 2 soft zone defense. The middle of the field's wide open. You're spreading the linebackers super thin, having to cover these skill guys. And every time it's like they get that extra 1 or 2 yards more than they need, and they pick up the first down. So I will say, from a silver lining perspective on the defense, and Coach Jay, you can shine some light on this, but I thought, and this is a beautiful contrast to where I think the defensive line is and the defensive backs are. I think we had some great running back screen defensive discipline. I think the D-line, when they did not have any resistance to get into the backfield, they were very quick to turn around. They were aware, and they stopped a lot of those running back screens that Kentucky was trying to implement into their offense. And on the downside of that, what was really bad was our D-backs with the wide receiver screens. They hit us they gashed us a couple times in those scenarios. So I think that just speaks to the contrast on where the defensive line is and the D-back room is from a physicality standpoint, from an awareness standpoint, from just kind of foreshadowing and being able to pick up on those things. Real quick, drive chart in the first quarter. I thought it was super interesting. The first 4 drives that we had combined for 15 total plays. We had 4 plays on our first drive, ended in a touchdown, 3 plays, 3 and out, 3 plays, 3 and out, 5 plays and a touchdown. And that kind of led us into the last drive we had of the second half, where, it took us 1 minute and 20 seconds to get 30 yards. And that's always been a struggle with Heupel, kind of that last 3 to 4 minutes going into half. You need a score, and he kind of sits on things and calls some plays that eat up a lot of clock and don't use timeouts. And I know we only had 1 timeout going into half, but it more times than not, it actually works in his favor. And I saw, that we got the last 40 yards in 20 seconds. And so maybe he's just confident in his play scheme and how the defense is going to play soft into trying to prevent us to get in the end zone. He's got something normally dialed up to get us in the end zone. So I just thought that was interesting. Also, going into half, we were 0 for 4 on 3rd down, and Joey, Ethan Davis stepped up, and we went 2 for 2 on 3rd down on that last drive of the second quarter. I just have a few more things here.
Yep.
We had offense always answered tonight. When Kentucky scored, we kept them at arm's length to scored again. That was a good thing to see. We had 32 rushing yards late into the third quarter. 32 rushing yards. But we ended the game well over 100. I think we were like 120, 140, something like that. But what I took away from that was kind of in the heat of the game and when we needed to put up points, we stuck to what was working. Too many times in the Georgia game and the Alabama game, we kind of got away from, like Georgia, they were playing cover 2 a lot. Middle of the field was wide open, and we got away from those tight end, crossing routes that were working so well. And I think tonight we did such a good job of just continuing to stick with what was working, make them stop us. And I liked that a lot. Again, to the rushing game, the rushing attack, I loved Starr's patience in the backfield this game. I think that's a lot of progression, a lot of maturity on his end, learning from Deshaun, watching him. Love to see that patience tonight. He was waiting for those blocks to accumulate. Last 2 things. A lot of people got Joey Swagular as his name. I call him Joey Spectacular. He's spectacular. He was a surgeon with the deep ball tonight. 6 for 6 last night. He was 6 for 6, 274 and 2 tutties. That guy was putting balls in the breadbasket. They were catching themselves. I mean, Mike Matthews had himself a touchdown on his birthday, so shout out to him. But everybody ate. And Joey, with the protection, with his awareness, stepping in and out of the pocket when he needed to. And I mean, his arms got to be sore. Get the man an ice pack. He was throwing some bombs last night, and he connected on all of them. So that was awesome. And then just to tie a bow on things, you guys have already touched on Boo. I had Boo in my notes. I had Prelati in my notes. Boo, just kind of a downside. He's definitely checked out. And I don't know why the coaching staff continues to play the man. I mean, he'll be there for one play and he'll put a helmet on a ball to knock it out. When Kentucky had 3 fumbles on the same play, he was rushing to the ball and put his helmet on it to knock it out. And then the next play, or later in the next quarter, he quits on a play where he could have tackled the guy short of the goal line. And as a volunteer, that's not the effort you want to see. You think of, I think it was the Rashawn Golden. It wasn't Rashawn, but it was back against Texas
Was it
A&M.
Mosley? Emmanuel Mosley.
It was Emmanuel Mosley, running 50, 60 yards to poke that ball out. Like, that's the effort you want to see. And that's the play that went back into my head. It's like Boo had the same opportunity. You're running behind a guy for 30, 40 yards. You have the speed to catch up to him, but you quit. But on the opposite end of that, man, Perlotti is going to be a beast. I already talked about him not getting credited for a sack he probably had, but he plays fast. He laid a hit stick on a kid that, maybe it could have been called as targeting or hitting a defensive player, but when you're focused on your assignment and that ball, gets past him and you lay the wood, that kid is going to be a beast. So linebacker room's looking good. I'm excited about a lot of things, but y'all let me talk for so long, so I appreciate it. I'm curious to hear what you guys have to say.
No, I like it, and this is what we want on these fan call-in shows, man. Y'all come on, y'all voice your opinions. We can chime in, we can talk about it. And Coach, I'm gonna take the Tim Banks stuff. If you want to get the X's and O's stuff with Tim Banks, you can the soft zone, that type of stuff. But the reason why is because Checkerboard Overalls is laying out all the reasons why I'm not on the Fire Tim Banks bandwagon yet. And I'm going to pick on Jennifer in the chat, and I hope Jennifer doesn't get mad at me by saying, quit making excuses for Tim Banks. This isn't making excuses for Tim Banks. This is laying out the overall picture of what we see. Yes, the eye test. I just said this before he jumped on. The eye test tells me this defense is also struggling, but he lays out a lot of things here, right? We lay out a lot of things here talking about an up-tempo offense. You go out and go 3 and out. That's quick. Your defense is right back out on the field. That leads to your defense being tired. That leads to your defense missing tackles. But it's not just the 3 and outs. It's when you go out and, like you just said, you have a quick scoring drive. You score in 5 plays. You score in 3 plays. Guess what? Defense is right back out there. Why do you think Josh Heupel fakes injuries on PATs? Because he knows that, and he's trying to buy his defense time to catch their breath. Guess what else puts the defense right back out on the field? We're leading in defensive touchdowns. You go create a play and get a defensive touchdown, a pick six, a scoop and score, whatever the case may be. Guess what you're doing? You're going to the sideline, taking a drink of water and running right back out on the field and going to play some more defense. So that is another thing that is adding to, when you look at numbers, when you look at stats, that's part of it. Now, again, the eye test tells me this defense has to be better. I'm going to pick on Jennifer again. I'm sorry, Jennifer. You're just laying out the talking points for me, because you brought up another good point. When you look at the defensive line, man, that's our strength, right? I would say most people are like, our defensive line is pretty good, Boogie. It's the back end. It's the secondary. It's the secondary that sucks. It's easy. It's low-hanging fruit to say Coach G is the man, but Willie Martinez can't coach a corner to save his life. Tim Banks can't coach a safety to save his life. You guys want to tell me real quick where we're healthy? Where are we banged up, and where are we healthy? We're healthy on the defensive line. We're banged up at the linebacker position. We're playing our second string corners. We're playing our second string star because Boo can't get his head out of his tail end. We're banged up on the back end. That's the reality. That's the reality. Again, the eye test tells me Tim Banks needs to be better. Tim Banks needs to stop playing soft. Tim Banks needs to get aggressive. But all these things that Checkerboard Overalls just laid out are why I sit back and say I'm not on the Fire Tim Banks bandwagon yet, because all of these things are factors to why this defense is struggling. No matter what we do, Josh Heupel is going to go fast. He's going to go up-tempo, and he's going to score points in a hurry. That is always going to put more strain on our defense. And then there are even more layers to that. Coach, jump in here. You can chime in with that, or if you want to go X's and O's, just your thoughts on everything that Checkerboard Overalls just laid out. I feel like a freaking secondary.
And he's muted.
I got an image to uphold here on Talkin VAWLS, right? Yeah, I mean, my mind obviously immediately goes to X's and O's and look at what you're talking about with 3rd and long and cover 2 and the bubble screen. And, that's how you attack cover 2, right? Like, number 1, mesh routes, crossing routes, seam routes, bubble screen, right? All this is going to give tunnel screens, trips and flood concept. This creates a lot of problems, specifically for our MEG concepts when you have them, guys. MEG stands for man everywhere goes, right? So that means if you have your star and you saw it a couple times, they were motioning out, and then we were bumping out rather than megging or going wherever he goes in that, right, out of cover 2, was problematic because of the bubbles hit it, right? Every offensive coordinators, you can flood the zone when you're not practicing a good meg. You can have quick underthrows. The slants were there. The hitches were there. The bubbles were there. And all the motion on those 3rd and longs created a lot of miscommunication. I brought it up after the game because of the way we were pushing into those techniques. So I think you're right on point with that being a problem, and maybe I can kick it to you. What do you want to see on 3rd and long? Uh, yeah, let's
Yeah.
start there. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so I would like to see a little more diversity on the pressure. If that's something we do so well, and that's what gets us into these situations where maybe it was a 2nd and 4, and we got him into 3rd and 10 with a sack. I would like to be not so predictable. I would like to see a little more pressure. And look, I think Boogie hit it too. Willie Martinez is not a bad DB's coach. He's got his number 1 and number 2 guys out. And those are guys that we could stick on an island last year and we could play a little bit differently. The linebackers didn't have to be in this zone defense they're not efficient at. I would like to get the linebackers out of that zone and either let them go kill or let them to spy or give them something different to do. And the safeties too, man. I mean, that's where we struggle. I'll say, to be devil's advocate to the Tim Banks, I think I don't want him fired, and we are going to miss. We're going to miss Charlie. We're going to miss Coach Garner deeply when he's gone. But all that to say, like Tim Banks, what he's going to have to do a better job of is the recruiting and the coaching of the safeties position, because that's really tying a hand behind our back. I know you're asking me what would I like to do on those 3rd down situations. At the end of the day, these guys are good enough to suit up for the orange and white and play Division I football in the SEC. We can't play scared. Like, do what you do well in those situations. Be aggressive. If we get beat, we get beat. But what I don't like to do is the definition of insanity, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different result. I would like to play to our strengths in those situations, and I just don't think we do that when it comes to the 3rd downs and when we're trying to preserve a lead late in the 3rd and 4th quarter.
Do you
know,
think, let me hit this, stay where you're at, Coach. Tim Banks tried to be more aggressive and tried to put Ty Redmond on an island, and Georgia said, oh, okay, you want to put the freshman on an island? We're going to throw at you. They made him pay, and now Tim Banks as a coach is going, I can't do that anymore.
Did we play Georgia last night?
No.
Exactly.
We played Kentucky,
I
man.
agree.
You got to let him grow. Like,
I'm trying to get into Tim Banks' head is what I'm trying
Silver's
to do.
refined in fire, man. You got to put Ty Redmond in the fire. You got to coach him up. And Willie Martinez, I'm sure, he put Alante Taylor into the league. I believe he had Cam Sutton under his wing too. So you got 2 guys right there that were thrown into fires pretty early. They had their lashings, they had their beatings, and they both are in the league. Well, Cam's not anymore, but Alante's in the league, starting. So Cam was starting for a long time with multiple teams as well. So those are just learning moments. You take that with a freshman you're having to put on an island, but man, I think we need to play to our strengths and get beat when we get beat, and it's going to pay off and pay its dividends later down the road.
I agree.
Yeah,
I'm just I'm trying to get in Tim Banks' head why he does what he does. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah.
You can tell he's still learning at times. The play. Let's talk about the Farouk interception really quick, right? You had a really tight look. And I don't know if you all can think back to a blitz that we ran against Arkansas, where Taylon Green broke contain on 3rd in a really long play. That was that same blitz play. But what we adjusted in that is, instead of playing mixed coverage, so one side tight, one side back, we brought both sides up tight this game, right? During that play, we brought one DB, which was Farouk, and we brought one linebacker. The star baited underneath, and the quarterback immediately saw him dive underneath. I finally got my underneath coverage, right, Boogie? I've been yelling for it.
Guaranteed pick 6 every time.
Yeah. He walls off, slides underneath. The quarterback doesn't like it, so he looks to bail out, throw side, and all of a sudden Farouk's in his face, and you have an interception, right? So it shows that we can do it. My problem is, let's equate it to baseball for a second. Say that's your slider, right, Boogie? We're not throwing our slider enough is my problem. It's not that we're not mixing up our pitches, is that it's a game of inches, and our inches are off. We're not throwing that slider enough. We're throwing it 6 times a game. We need to be throwing it 13 times a game. Is kind of how I'd like to equate it. Go ahead.
I like what you're saying there, and I agree with you.
Yeah.
But on the third down specifically, it's almost like a 3-2 count. We're always throwing the fastball under the chin. Like that's kind
Yes.
of my point. Is like
Yes.
they know
Yeah.
what to expect. They know what's
Yeah.
coming on 3rd and 10. Like they're gonna
Ex-
try and play this shell coverage, and
yep.
all we got to do is pick up whatever 11. They're gonna give it to us, or they're gonna give us 8 and expect to hit a tackle, and when it's missed, that's where they get the extra 3 or 4. That's what just drives me insane.
Right. And I agree with what you're saying about the safeties too. When it's the corners and safeties work together, right? As a defensive coordinator, when I know I got lockdown corners, I immediately know with my defense, I can have the linebackers focus on run support more, focus on inside routes more, right? Because I don't got to worry about certain man and zones being effective, right? Because the corners can reduce some of those options in those spots, right? And that's going to allow for fewer explosive plays allowed when you can put the corners on islands, like you said, right? So you have more pieces on the chessboard to play with. You can shrink the passing windows more that way. You can jam receivers at the line and allow for more underneath blitzes more. So it's a bit of a domino effect and unfortunate. It's just at the end of the day, like I said, I just want to be multiple and like you said, not
Yeah.
throw the fastball under the
And
chin as much. So I think we're on
and
the same page there.
and I don't know if they've done a lot of like half zone, half man. I mean, I think you got the ability to be on an island with Hood. I'd like to see maybe a little more of that. And I'm not smart enough or nuanced enough in 1 or 2 watches to go back and see if that's something they're doing. But
A
Redmond's
little
got
bit of
the
poach concept. Yeah, we call
yeah,
it poach
yeah.
concept. A little bit of poach concept. A little bit of Mabel concept, which is like a 3 cleared
But
halves poach
But I
concept.
think you have an
Right.
established guy in Hood to where you could do that and kind of let the safety relax a little bit on that side of the field. And Redmond, dude's got all the intangibles. He's got all the unteachables, and I mean, he's got the length, he's
I
got the
like the way he
height, he's got the
plays.
weight and speed. I mean,
Hmm.
it's just a matter of experience and putting him on an island. I think, especially in these latter games, like especially New Mexico State. I mean, that's where you get some practice in. Oklahoma, I understand you don't want to get burnt, but whatever. Long story short, I'm gonna get out of here. But I know Ron the Don, I love you. I'm on a text chain with him. We were texting yesterday as well, but
Cool.
love him. I don't want to take any time away from him. And Coach Jay, when you get your D1 spot, grad
Oh,
assistant right here, okay? All
there,
right,
Oh,
there
just
you
keep
go,
me
another
baby.
man in the
keep me in
chain.
the
I
loop,
love it.
man.
There we go.
I
There we
love it.
go.
All
Hey,
right,
we
fellas,
appreciate it,
y'all
brother.
be
Have a good
good.
night.
Yeah.
Man, that was good stuff. Somebody bringing
Yeah.
notes, and we just
I
get
love
a
it.
fire off
That's
of that.
what I love about this new way of doing it. It's like you want to come in and have your 5 minutes be about X's and O's. Come on in. You want to have it be about fire banks. Do it eloquently, but come on in. Like we want disagreement, we want agreement, we want everything in between. Man, just keep it coming, guys. I love it.
That was good stuff. We're going to get Ron the Don on here in just a second. We just ask you guys real quick to smash the thumbs up. Little plug, shill. Also, go check out our Talkin VAWLS merchandise at bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. That link is always going to be in the description below because Coach Jay would never remember it. So we got to put it in the description for people like Coach Jay. Get yourself some Talkin VAWLS logo
Wait,
merch.
where do
We've
you
also
go?
Bonfire. You
Wait,
go to
wait,
the
wait,
description.
wait, wait. Can I
You go to
try
the,
it?
Oh, wait. Are
I practiced last night. I practiced last night.
Are you looking in the mirror doing the plug? All right, let's
There's
hear it.
no mirror. There's no mirror. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS.
Let's go. Now, what could you buy there, Coach?
You could buy yourself uh you could buy yourself a Fugga t-shirt. You could buy yourself a Buck Fama, a Gator Hater, right?
There you go.
If you order now, you can get that Gator Hater shirt in time for the
Yes.
Vols to beat Florida in the swamp this year. So go get yourself some merch. This shirt right here, one of the most comfortable shirts I have. I just love this dang thing. And
I don't even have one of those yet. I've not even
oh,
bought one of
dude,
those
I
yet.
don't know how, bro. It's elite. If you're a girl, you can go get a racerback thanks to Miss J. And yeah, go check out the merch, man. Go check out
grab
the
some merch, smash the thumbs up, share out the link, all that good stuff. If you're not a member, hit the join button. It's $1. Got $1? We need that dollar. Hit the join button. We would appreciate it. We do these plugs and chills because it's the only way the channel survives. It doesn't survive with ad revenue. It doesn't survive by what YouTube gives us. It survives strictly off of fan support, whether that's super chats, whether that's memberships, whether it's those of you that join the Patreon. You can come be a part of that. You can join the EA Sports College Football Dynasty over on Patreon. You don't play video games, that's not your thing. We have a game day chat you can be a part of. Come join us for that. I just put the link in the chat. It's also in the description. Live game day chat throughout the game. We did it for Alabama. We did it last night for Kentucky. We're going to do it again this Saturday for Oklahoma. Just another way you can support the channel, keep the lights on around here. Let me catch back up with you guys. Cletus the Barber, beefcake for 10 after rewatching today. The technique and angles are just plain bad in the secondary, and that's what Banks coaches. Darn it, GBO beat them Sooners. Sean Cross for 5. If a hamburger is a sandwich, that also qualifies a hot dog as a sandwich, as well. Deep thoughts. You know what's good, Coach, is to take a hamburger or a hot dog bun, put spaghetti on it. But you know what I really want to do is Boogie's Burrito Bar. I want to start Boogie's Burrito Bar, and we're not just doing. You're muted, by the way. We're not just doing
I know.
like Mexican burritos. We're not doing your normal stereotypical burritos. We're doing like, what do you want? You want a bacon cheeseburger burrito? We'll do it. We'll do bacon, burger, cheese, onions, ketchup. What you want a Big Mac burrito? We'll do it. Like, what's your go-to? You like chicken parmesan? We'll do a chicken parmesan burrito. We'll make straight up chicken parmesan. We'll chop up the chicken. We'll put the noodles in there. We'll wad it all up into a burrito. Boom, delicious. Fish and chips. You want fish and chips? We'll wad that up, throw in a burrito. Boogie's Burrito Bar. I think it's a hit. What would you throw in a burrito that you think we could sell?
You can put anything in a dang burrito, man.
Hibachi grill. You want hibachi grill?
You could do that. I'll tell you what. There's a place in Santa Cruz up here, and I know it's basic, but it's like Chipotle, but everything is breakfast burrito. Like, it's just a breakfast burrito place, and any breakfast item you can name on earth, they have there, and you can fill it inside the burrito, and they'll grill it up and eat it. Let you eat it.
The news just broke, by the way. We talked about this at the top of the show. Marshall's in the chat, says, well, there went Brian Kelly. Just confirmed on Twitter. Brian Kelly is now fired. Crazy, man. Crazy. Again, we started that at the top of the show, so if you missed it, you can go back and watch that part.
That hurts Florida more than anyone, right? You would think?
Has to.
Gators just got really, really bad news, and I feel really bad for them, Boogie. Don't you just feel awful?
I'm so upset about it that my mouth is watering reading the chat. Pulled pork and baked beans burrito. That's gas right there. That is fire. Philly cheesesteak burrito. Dude, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Tim Ross says, start it now, Boogie. Start it now. Willie says, I love that idea, Boogie. Any other good ones in the chat? Nobody else is playing along. I don't know what's better, the pulled pork and baked beans or the Philly cheesesteak burrito. Holy smokes.
I don't know. We could have the Banks burrito special.
Oh no.
You get 3 for 15. 3 for 15, baby. 3 for 15.
I thought you were going to say it's just the wrap. It's just a wrap with a bunch of space inside.
A bunch of space in the middle. That works too. All right. We love you, Tim.
Oh, this is awful. I can't. We're off the rails. Poor Ron the Don's been waiting in the back for 20 minutes. I'm almost there, Ron. I'm almost there. Matthew Watson for 2 says, pay a safety $4 million in the portal. Timothy McGee for 5. I believe I just said that about the Heupel offense. I know I gave you credit for it too, Timothy. I agreed with you. Sean for 5 says just speculation, but I wonder if Tim Banks has some personal stuff going on outside of football. I can't figure out the huge drop. Just speculating. Again, injuries, man. Injuries are playing a part of it. It's not all of it. I'm not going to sit here and pretend it's all of it, but it is part of it for sure. John Watts gifted 5 Talkin VAWLS memberships. That ain't cheap, man. That's like a $25 super chat. We are now 28 memberships. Can y'all put on more steam? Can we give away some free merch tonight? 28 more memberships away from giving away some free merch. Peyton K drops a 10 and says door fee. Shout out, Peyton. We appreciate that tip. My man, LeBronson James for 2. Coach, when are you moving to Tennessee? Soon, very soon. Bookham Dano says Dorfy Lane to LSU. I don't know. We will see, but it is definitely, like Coach said, that one there hurts Florida more than anything.
Yeah.
Tim Rice says buffalo chicken. See, I'm all into this. Buffalo chicken and curly fries with ranch.
Limitless. Limitless. I like the pulled pork. I want a little pulled pork, maybe some mac and cheese in there too.
Oh, that's a good one too.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
Be good, man.
I'm still on this hibachi grill, dude. Hibachi grill, the rice, shrimp, zucchini, onions, shrimp sauce. Just throw it all. Okay, let's get Ron the Don in here. Ron the Don, what would you put on a burrito?
I've been sitting here going over my copious notes because Checkerboard, he's good. So from all I can see is my name is Jeff.
My name is Jeff.
You know. Let me take you down memory lane, right? Do you remember back in 2021 when it was I guess it really wasn't a quarterback battle? Joe Milton had the job. Lost the job to Hendon Hooker. And we went 7-5 that year. And we did good. We got cheated in the bowl game. That was an actual touchdown. The refs called the game too early. But in 2022, something that we experienced that we haven't had in a long time was anytime Hendon Hooker got the ball with any time left on the clock after about the 7th game, we was assured that he could score. On Kentucky, near the end of the first half, when we got that ball, with a minute with 35 seconds or minute 45 seconds. We went down there and we scored. Man, that gave me a warm feeling in my heart. I mean, Joe Milton did okay, Nico did okay, but with Joey, you got that feeling that he can go down there and score in a short period of time. That's a game changer. Now, the defense. The only problem with that is, just like with Hendon Hooker, our defense was okay that year, but we could outscore people. Now, we're putting ourselves kind of in the same predicament. Not going to make an excuse for Tim Banks because players play. If you know you have deficiencies on defense, you got to do the best you can and put the players in winning positions. But now our offense is scoring. Our offense is lethal. That makes me feel good because our offense can make plays when they need to make plays. Hendon Hooker scored with 15 seconds on the board. Field goal, 3 seconds left. Joey Aguilar is throwing the ball down the field, and he's giving his players a chance to make those 50-50 catches. I like that. I can deal with that. Now, on some other stuff, as far as Coach Banks is concerned, we know what we're working with, and it's rough. And if our offense can score that quickly, before the Gatorade goes down the defensive players' throats, they're going to go back out there on the field. So they have to learn to coach around that. Positively, we got players hurt, and they're out of the game. They're not playing. But look at the experience the underclassmen are getting by being out there on the field. They're getting reps not against ETSU or Austin P or Sisters Christians Children of the Blind. They're getting reps against actual good game time competition that will come in handy. I mean, we said it before. Coach Hopper said it before. No time to be young. You got to grow up fast. Get ready, Get on out there. Now, I'm not sitting here trying to blow orange smoke up people's hiney holes. I'm just saying, look at the positive of what we're doing. I know the defense has its struggles. I'm pretty sure the guys on Kentucky, their offensive line coaches, he's getting paid. He's not working for free. Coach Stoops ain't working for free. They're paid to try to make plays, and if we're out of position or we're out of sync, they're going to make some of those plays. And it's been happening for a little while. But at the same time, man, our offense is where it is. It's better than what we thought. We was thinking 8-4, 9-3. I'm still saying 10-2, and we are ready. We are ready to make a run. And these players that are getting in the game, even if it's garbage time or if it's bad time or good time, they are getting field experience. That's what I'm going to say. That's my point.
Yeah. Yeah, young team, right? A lot of freshmen on this team. A lot of freshmen on this team. Yeah, no, I'm with you.
Let them come on, get on out there.
Rocket. I like
get your
from
feet
Lottie
wet.
out there. Yeah, he played really, really well. I like the speed of our young linebackers, no doubt about it.
And one of the things too you had to look at, I mean, even though we have some deficiencies as far as communication and what's going on, we still have individual players making individual plays, which is what the better teams do, believe it or not. You think all these other teams are so excellently coached? No, those are individual players making individual plays when they got the chance to make them. That's why we were leading in sacks. That's why we're leading TFLs. That's why we do it, because at one particular time, if their offense has 12 plays, our defense has 12 plays to make a play. When our star players make those plays, that's why we're leading in certain categories. I mean, I'm not trying to fire nobody. Yeah, Tim Banks can scheme up a different game and make it easier for his defense to function on those downs where we need those turnovers. But did we really need that many turnovers? We dropped 56 in the dome. It could have been 62.
Yeah, they could have scored again.
Yeah, we would have choked them and give them the elbow. You could have did all that kind of stuff, but that's what I'm
People's
saying.
elbow.
Yeah, I mean, hey, I want to win 1 point, 60 points. What's the difference? It's still a win. I'm ready for that win. Now, Tim Banks, you give him some grace, homie. Get the shit together like Goat Boo Boo. Get it right.
I love it. I love it.
Help the defensive players out. We know we're short-handed. Help them out, man. I mean, because against people like Kentucky, maybe New Mexico City, all right, we can have a little leeway. But on the tougher competition that we're going to have to play because we are winning, we're going to need those X's and O's, those Jimmys and Joes, crossing those I's and dotting those T's, even though that was backwards what I said. But this doggone country club vodka got me going. But I'm just saying, though. That's what we need.
Okay.
As far as blue card is concerned, you're right. It could be a sophomore blues, but at the same time, though, I'm sorry. When you play football at any level, there's a certain amount of pride that has to be out there on the field because you don't think that they're not sitting there. Oh, wow, man. You didn't necessarily get burnt. You just got outplayed at a particular point, you know. You missed that. This guy just ran free right past you on that play down the sideline. Wait, is that guy faster than you? I thought you claimed to be the fastest guy on the team. Somewhere online, he's checked out. He's just playing the play. But like I said, we don't have anybody else to put in that position right now because of a lack of players, and that's sad. Mm-hmm. I just hate it for him. And I hate it for us. Because if Boo was balling out, man, you know how much more happier we'd be? Because we'd have an extra threat on the defensive side that's playing balls out.
And guess what? If he's done at Tennessee, if he's going to enter the transfer portal, you don't think Colorado's looking at his tape and going, "Hey, we see this tape. You're not worth what you want. We'll give you this." He's costing himself money in the long run.
What are you going to? Like, what's Colorado's record right now? 2-6 or something? I don't even know what 3
is. They're garbage. They're garbage. They had negative yardage. Negative offensive yardage at halftime yesterday.
Man, they got bent over and it was no lube on that last game they had. It was horrible. But see, that's my only point. I mean, I'm not saying firing coaches. I mean, Coach Banks, you do need to step up and see where your team is at and try to plan for what you do and make it so that, I mean, not that, we look horrible out there. But at least make it easier for your team. Our front four is pushing. You see the pressure they're getting. They're not getting home. But they ain't got no high schoolers on the offensive line. You got to have people on the offensive line to block. So that's all I'm saying about all that. And, enjoy the game. Great win. Roush, he was still complaining. He wasn't complaining that much, but he had a little tear in his eye. But We just need to, if you want to take the next step, go to the next level, we need our players to step up. And this time on Tim Banks, you got to step up, brother, just in case our offense isn't clicking. I'm glad it's clicking, but just in case our offense isn't clicking, we need a few more extra stops, takeaways, clotheslines, eye gouges, anything from the Stooges to get us to the next win. As Curly would say.
All right, Ron the Don. You're the man, brother. I appreciate you jumping on with us. You have a good night, all right, brother? Don't drink that whole bottle. Don't drink that whole bottle.
It's almost ready for the graveyard.
That bottle's got about as much a chance as Tim Banks on a 3rd and 12. Hey, Ron, we love you, brother. Have a good night, all right? Lord have mercy. Tonto says, served with a side of sweet brown sugar fries. We also got Timothy McGee for 5. Says, Coach Jay, they are 8 games in. They're veterans that are making the same mistakes. I love Timothy, but when he drops a super chat, I don't know what he's talking about sometimes. Do you know what he's talking about?
I mean, I think just veterans making the same mistakes. But, Tim, I am going to challenge you. I want names. I want names of the veterans that aren't making mistakes because I like to address what each of them are doing schematically and point out what they've done right and wrong so we can be fair to them. But I do think your point is fair that we've had some veterans who are making similar mistakes. Certainly.
All right, we're about an hour and a half into this thing. We appreciate you guys. Shout out to Jenny. Shout out to Ron the Don. And shout out to Checkerboard Overalls. He brought it tonight, man. He brought tons of good notes, opened up some good talking points for me and Coach Jay. We're going to be right back here tomorrow morning, 9 a.m. Eastern time. Eric Kane of VolQuest is going to be here. I told him we'll talk briefly about the hire of Elander for the baseball team, what that means for this team moving forward. We'll talk about the assistant that Elander is going to have to hire in his place. Brief little segment with baseball for Kaner in the morning, and then we'll talk about the Tennessee-Kentucky game. Look ahead to the Oklahoma game Tuesday night. We'll play EA Sports College Football. Come hang out with us. It is always fun, laid-back chill stream, and we'll play some games Wednesday night, Talkin VAWLS Live. Friday morning, we have an on-3 beat writer for the Oklahoma Sooners that is going to come on with me and Coach Jay. I figured out the secret, guys. I texted Coach last night. I said, I have the solution. Big Game Brent is 0-2. So what do? We go to on-3 and get the opponent's Big Game Brent, and we bring him on, and that is going to screw Oklahoma, and we are going to come out with a win. We figured it out. We solved it. That's going to be fun Friday morning, and then obviously Saturday, tailgate show, and then we'll be live immediately following the game. Smash the thumbs up. Go check out the merchandise. Think about supporting by hitting the join button. We would appreciate that. We love you guys. We appreciate you guys. I hope you guys are digging the new format on the fan call-in shows. But for Coach Jay, my name's Boogie Bentley. Did I miss a super chat? Timothy McGee for 2 says freshman Piedmont. Freshman Piedmont?
Yeah, that guy.
I still don't know who he's talking about. Do you know who he's talking about?
Freshman at Piedmont High School? I'm not sure, to be honest.
I have no idea. We still love you, though, Timothy. We still love you.
Very much
for
so.
Coach Jay, my name is Boogie Bentley. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. Go Big Orange.